In a stunning ruling earlier today, a federal court delivered a major blow to former President Donald Trump, as it handed down a decision that could significantly impact his legal and political future. The ruling, which stemmed from one of several ongoing investigations into Trump's conduct during his time in office and his business dealings, has sent shockwaves through the political landscape. The court's decision, which came after weeks of legal wrangling and intense media coverage, could have serious implications for Trump's business empire and his ability to mount a successful political campaign in the upcoming election. Legal experts are now questioning whether this setback could mark a turning point in the series of challenges Trump has faced in the courts. The court's decision focused on a range of allegations, but one of the most significant aspects is the ruling that Trump may face criminal charges related to his business practices. The case, which involves accusations of financial misconduct and fraudulent reporting, has been building for months, with multiple investigations into the Trump Organization. Legal experts argue that the ruling could lead to severe consequences, including potential fines, penalties, and even restrictions on Trump's ability to operate his businesses. However, the most concerning aspect of the decision is the possibility of criminal charges being brought against the former president. Trump's legal team has already expressed their intention to appeal the ruling, with one of his attorneys stating that the decision was politically motivated and that they would fight it to the highest courts. Nonetheless, the ruling marks a major step in a prolonged legal battle that has the potential to reshape the trajectory of Trump's post-presidential career. The court's ruling has sparked immediate reactions across the political spectrum. Trump supporters have been quick to dismiss the decision, calling it another example of a biased justice system targeting their leader. Many of his allies in Congress have rallied behind him, with some suggesting that the case is politically motivated and part of a broader effort to prevent him from running in the 2024 presidential election. Once again, the system is trying to stop President Trump, but he will not be deterred, said Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, one of Trump's staunchest supporters. This is just another deep state attack. On the other side, Democrats and critics of the former president have praised the ruling as a long overdue step toward accountability. No one is above the law, not even a former president, said Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. This ruling shows that the justice system is functioning properly, and it's time for Trump to face the consequences of his actions. Public opinion seems divided, with both sides bracing for a lengthy legal and political battle ahead. The ruling has added fuel to the already heated debate about Trump's future, with many now questioning how this setback will affect his ability to maintain his influence in the upcoming election cycle. As the dust settles from today's court ruling, the road ahead for Donald Trump is becoming increasingly uncertain. With the legal battle far from over, Trump faces mounting challenges on multiple fronts. In addition to the potential criminal charges stemming from this case, the former president is already involved in several other investigations, including inquiries into his role in the January 6 Capitol riot and the mishandling of classified documents. Legal analysts suggest that the ruling could have ripple effects on these ongoing cases, further complicating Trump's defense strategy. If criminal charges are eventually filed, it could set a dangerous precedent, not only for Trump but for future political figures as well. The idea that a former president could face jail time over business practices or actions while in office is a reality many had not previously imagined. Politically, this setback could also create opportunities for other Republican contenders eyeing the 2024 presidential race. Some of Trump's potential rivals, like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, have already begun positioning themselves as the future of the party, with this court ruling likely providing more ammunition for those hoping to challenge Trump's dominance over the GOP. In the coming weeks, Trump's legal team will likely continue to fight back with appeals and legal motions, but the outcome of this case, and the others he faces, could shape the contours of the next election and the future of his political legacy. Only time will tell whether this court ruling is a temporary obstacle or a sign of more serious troubles ahead. As the news of the court's decision continues to reverberate, the media is abuzz with coverage, dissecting every angle of the ruling and its broader implications. News outlets are offering diverse perspectives, with some focusing on the legal intricacies and others honing in on the political ramifications. The ruling has been front-page news, and cable networks are devoting extensive airtime to the topic, with pundits and analysts eagerly speculating on what the future holds for Trump. For some, the ruling is seen as a turning point in American politics, signaling that no individual, regardless of their former position or power, is immune to legal scrutiny. For others, it marks an escalation in a long-running political war, where legal battles and public opinion are increasingly intertwined. On social media, the public reaction is as polarized as ever. Trump supporters have flooded platforms like Twitter and Facebook with hashtags like #SaveTrump, while his detractors continue to call for accountability, with hashtags such as #TrumpIsGuilty trending in some corners of the internet. Memes and commentary surrounding the case are circulating widely, with users sharing everything from memes about Trump's legal woes to serious discussions about the broader implications for the rule of law. As the legal process unfolds and the political landscape continues to shift, it is clear that this case will be a defining moment in the years ahead. Whether it will lead to lasting consequences for Trump or merely become another chapter in his tumultuous post-presidential life remains to be seen. However, one thing is certain: the court's ruling will not be the last word in this ongoing saga. In the wake of the court's ruling, former President Trump has wasted no time in responding, framing the decision as part of a concerted effort to undermine his political influence and discredit his supporters. In a statement issued through his social media platform, Trump lashed out at the court's decision, calling it another baseless attack designed to stop him from running for office again. "We've seen this before, yet another politically motivated move to try and silence the voice of the people," Trump wrote. "This ruling has no merit and will not stand. I will fight this with every ounce of my energy because the American people deserve a leader who is fearless and will never back down." Trump's words have ignited his base, who continue to rally around him. At a recent campaign-style rally, his supporters voiced their unwavering loyalty, chanting slogans and expressing their belief that the legal challenges were simply part of a broader witch hunt. However, the growing number of legal challenges has begun to raise concerns even within the Republican Party. Some of Trump's closest allies are privately wondering how much longer they can stand behind him if these legal issues continue to mount. As one anonymous Republican strategist put it, there's a point where the legal troubles become a distraction that even Trump can't overcome. Trump's ability to control the narrative will be tested in the coming weeks. Will he manage to turn public perception in his favor, or will the accumulating legal challenges start to take a more significant toll on his political fortunes? The battle for public opinion has only just begun, and it's likely to be a defining factor in how this legal saga plays out. As the legal battles surrounding Trump intensify, the impact on the 2024 presidential election race becomes more pronounced. Republican contenders for the presidency are closely watching the situation, understanding that the court ruling could either strengthen or weaken Trump's grip on the GOP. Some of Trump's potential rivals, like Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former Vice President Mike Pence, are increasingly positioning themselves as viable alternatives to the former president. DeSantis, in particular, has gained traction among conservatives who are concerned about Trump's legal troubles overshadowing his policy agenda. "We need a strong, unified Republican Party to defeat the Democrats, not a party bogged down by distractions," DeSantis remarked at a recent campaign event. Despite the rising competition, Trump's loyal base remains steadfast, and he continues to enjoy significant support among key Republican voter blocs. Many still see him as the party's best chance to reclaim the White House in 2024, with some Trump supporters even suggesting that his legal issues will only fuel their determination to vote for him. "He's the only one who can beat Biden," said one Trump supporter at a rally. "This is just another hurdle that he'll overcome." However, there is a growing concern within the party that the prolonged focus on Trump's legal woes could harm the GOP's chances in a general election. Political strategists warn that if Trump's legal troubles continue to dominate the headlines, it could lead to voter fatigue and erode the party's image as a viable alternative to the current administration. As the legal battles unfold, it remains to be seen whether Trump can maintain his dominance over the GOP or if a new contender will emerge as the Republican frontrunner. The outcome of this ongoing legal drama could ultimately reshape the 2024 election, with consequences that extend far beyond Trump's political career. As the court ruling continues to unfold, legal experts are offering their perspectives on the potential long-term consequences for Donald Trump. While much of the media attention has focused on the immediate political ramifications, the legal landscape is much more complicated and could have far-reaching effects on Trump's future. One of the most pressing concerns is the possibility of criminal charges related to the case. Legal analysts suggest that if the court's decision leads to an indictment, it could result in serious legal consequences, including fines, restrictions on business operations, or even jail time. The severity of this case cannot be underestimated, said former federal prosecutor Sarah Thompson. If it moves forward, Trump could face consequences that impact not just his political future but his personal freedom. Additionally, the ruling could have a ripple effect on other ongoing investigations into Trump, particularly those related to his role in the January 6 Capitol riot and the alleged mishandling of classified documents. Experts suggest that a conviction in one case could strengthen the case for charges in others, making it more difficult for Trump to escape legal jeopardy. Moreover, the legal challenges could hinder Trump's ability to run an effective campaign in 2024. While his legal team continues to fight the case in court, the mere presence of ongoing investigations could serve as a distraction, consuming time and resources that would otherwise be directed toward his campaign. For now, Trump's legal team remains determined to appeal the decision, but the path forward is far from clear. The real test will be whether the appeals courts uphold or overturn this ruling, said legal scholar James Stewart. If the case moves forward, we could be witnessing the beginning of a legal battle that will define the next phase of Trump's career, both politically and personally. As this saga unfolds, all eyes will remain on the legal and political ramifications, with many wondering whether this will mark the end of Trump's post-presidential ambitions or simply another chapter in a long history of legal battles. The court ruling against Donald Trump has not only sent shockwaves through the United States but has also captured the attention of international leaders and observers. As the former president faces increasing legal challenges, the implications of this case extend beyond American borders, influencing how the U.S. is perceived globally. In Europe, where Trump's presidency was a topic of intense debate, the ruling has reignited concerns about the state of American democracy and the rule of law. Several European politicians have expressed their hope that the legal proceedings will reflect a fair and impartial judicial process. The United States must show the world that no one is above the law, said Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission. The integrity of its institutions will be tested. At the same time, some foreign leaders have voiced concerns about the potential for instability in the U.S. political system. We are watching closely, as these legal issues could affect the ability of the United States to focus on important global matters, noted a senior diplomat from a major Asian country. If Trump's political future is in doubt, it may have consequences for U.S. foreign policy and international relations. In Latin America and parts of Africa, where Trump's leadership was often seen as controversial, the ruling has sparked both cautious optimism and skepticism. Some view it as a sign that even influential leaders are subject to the legal processes that govern the rest of the world. On the other hand, Trump still maintains a significant base of international support, especially among populist leaders who admire his unorthodox style and approach to governance. The ruling's impact on Trump's international business dealings is also a topic of discussion. With his global brand facing heightened scrutiny, foreign investors and business partners are likely to reassess their relationship with the Trump Organization. This could have ripple effects in real estate markets and tourism industries, especially in countries where Trump's properties are located. As this legal battle unfolds, the international community will continue to watch closely, as the outcome could influence not only American politics but also the global geopolitical landscape. The question now is whether the court ruling will weaken or strengthen Trump's global influence, or if it will instead mark the beginning of a shift in U.S. foreign policy as Trump's legal challenges take center stage. As the legal and political storms continue to swirl around Donald Trump, the question on many minds is what the future holds for the former president. The court ruling has set the stage for what could be a drawn-out battle in the courts, but the ultimate consequences of this legal saga may not be fully realized for months, or even years, to come. One critical factor is the ongoing appeal process. Trump's legal team is gearing up for what promises to be an intense and high-stakes fight in the appellate courts. While many legal experts believe that Trump has a strong chance of overturning the ruling, others caution that the court's decision may signal the start of a more systematic approach to holding him accountable. This case could be the first of many, and the outcome could set a precedent for future cases involving public figures, said legal analyst Lisa Grant. Even if the ruling is eventually overturned or the case dismissed, the toll on Trump's political and public image may already have been significant. If the case persists, it could become a constant distraction during the 2024 campaign, overshadowing his policy proposals and messages to voters. Already, Republican challengers are capitalizing on the opportunity to position themselves as a less divisive alternative to Trump, appealing to moderate Republicans and independents who may be disillusioned by the legal chaos. Furthermore, Trump's ability to mount a campaign amid these legal battles is uncertain. Political strategists are divided on whether the ongoing scandals will force him into a political corner or whether they will fuel a backlash against the perceived deep state. Some believe Trump's base may rally behind him even more fervently, while others argue that the continual media attention surrounding his legal issues will erode his ability to maintain a unified party. On a personal level, Trump faces the possibility of substantial financial and professional consequences. A string of potential civil and criminal penalties could further damage his personal wealth and brand, while the legal costs associated with defending against multiple lawsuits are likely to be astronomical. Whether these financial strains will push Trump to reconsider his future plans is yet to be seen. The next few months will be pivotal for Trump, his supporters, and his detractors. The appeal process, ongoing investigations, and potential political fallout could determine whether this court ruling marks the beginning of the end for Trump's political career or simply another chapter in his unpredictable rise and fall. Whatever the outcome, one thing is clear: this legal battle is far from over, and its ultimate resolution could forever change the landscape of American politics. The stakes are high, and the world will be watching to see how Donald Trump navigates what may be his greatest challenge yet. As Donald Trump's legal battles intensify, the ripple effect on the Republican Party is becoming increasingly evident. His legal challenges, including the recent court ruling, are forcing the GOP to confront difficult questions about its future direction. The party, long dominated by Trump's influence, now finds itself at a crossroads, where decisions about loyalty, leadership, and strategy will shape its fate in the 2024 elections and beyond. For many within the GOP, Trump's legal troubles have created a complex dilemma. While his base of support remains powerful, there is a growing sense that the party must begin to prepare for a post-Trump era. This has led to a re-evaluation of Republican priorities, with some party members advocating for a shift in focus away from Trump's controversies and towards policy issues that can appeal to a broader range of voters. "We need to move past this," said Senator Lisa Murkowski, a Republican voice often critical of Trump. "If we continue to allow these legal issues to dominate the conversation, we risk alienating moderates and independents who may be key to winning the general election." Some within the party are calling for fresh leadership, with names like Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, and Mike Pence rising as potential alternatives to Trump for the 2024 nomination. At the same time, Trump's staunchest allies continue to push back against any notion of moving on from him. For these loyalists, the party's future is closely tied to Trump's leadership. "Trump represents the heart and soul of the Republican Party," said Representative Jim Jordan, one of the former president's most vocal defenders. "If we abandon him now, we abandon everything he's fought for." As the GOP grapples with its identity, the fallout from Trump's legal battles could have profound consequences on how the party approaches future elections. The next several months will be critical in determining whether the GOP can find unity in the face of uncertainty or whether the divisions over Trump's legacy will ultimately fracture the party. Furthermore, the party's internal struggles could have broader consequences for American democracy. The way the GOP handles Trump's legal challenges, and how it adapts to a changing political environment, could reshape the way future elections are contested and the role that political parties play in upholding democratic norms. With the 2024 election rapidly approaching, time is running out for the GOP to decide whether to continue its support for Trump, break from him entirely, or find a middle ground that allows the party to rebuild its image while maintaining its core base of voters. As this battle unfolds, the future of the Republican Party, and the American political landscape, hangs in the balance. As the legal battles surrounding Donald Trump continue to escalate, the path ahead is fraught with complexity. Following the recent court ruling, Trump's legal team is bracing for what could be a long and arduous journey through the appellate courts, where the fate of the case could hinge on nuanced legal arguments and strategies. The former president's defense team, known for its aggressive tactics, has already begun preparing for an appeal, signaling that this case is far from over. One of the major issues at play is the question of whether Trump's actions, particularly in relation to his business dealings and alleged financial misconduct, rise to the level of criminal activity. Legal experts suggest that Trump's defense will likely center on discrediting the allegations and challenging the legal grounds for the ruling. This case involves some highly technical issues of business law, said criminal defense attorney David Harris. Trump's team will aim to dismantle the charges step by step, arguing that they either lack merit or don't meet the high bar for criminal liability. However, as the legal proceedings unfold, the Trump team will have to navigate a series of hurdles. For one, the possibility of civil penalties could be on the table, even if criminal charges are not brought. This could include heavy fines, restitution, or other financial penalties that could significantly affect Trump's personal finances and business interests. The legal costs of defending against multiple cases are already mounting, and any negative ruling could further drain resources. In addition to the financial burden, Trump's legal team faces the challenge of maintaining the former president's public image. With the court ruling already making headlines, Trump's legal battles have become a major talking point in the media, drawing intense scrutiny from both supporters and detractors. The constant media attention could exacerbate the pressure on Trump's defense, as his lawyers work to manage the legal and public relations aspects of the case simultaneously. Beyond the current ruling, Trump's legal team is also keeping a close eye on other investigations that could have similar implications for his future. From the ongoing probes into his role in the January 6 Capitol riot to the investigation regarding the mishandling of classified documents, each case presents a unique set of legal challenges. Legal experts warn that if Trump faces multiple charges in parallel, the cumulative effect of these cases could be devastating, both politically and personally. Despite the challenges, Trump's defense team is unlikely to back down easily. They have already indicated their intent to take the case to the highest courts if necessary, arguing that the current ruling is an overreach of judicial power. "We will take this all the way," said Trump's lead attorney. "This is not just about one case. It's about defending the rights of all Americans." The road ahead for Trump's legal team will be long, and the outcome remains uncertain. As the appeals process continues and other investigations progress, the stakes couldn't be higher. The legal battles will not only determine the future of Trump's business empire but could also have a profound impact on his political ambitions, potentially reshaping the landscape of American politics in the years to come. As Donald Trump's legal and political battles reach their crescendo, the final outcome will undoubtedly shape his legacy for years to come. With appeals pending and multiple ongoing investigations, the future remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the court ruling represents a pivotal moment in the life of the former president, one that could determine whether he continues to dominate American politics or fades into history. If Trump's legal team succeeds in overturning the ruling or managing to avoid criminal charges, his political career could receive a significant boost. His supporters, galvanized by a victory in the courts, may rally around him with renewed fervor, allowing him to reclaim his position as the undisputed leader of the Republican Party. The 2024 election could then become not just a battle for the White House but a referendum on Trump's resilience in the face of legal adversity. However, if the ruling stands, or if new criminal charges are brought against him, the consequences could be far-reaching. Trump's brand, already tarnished by years of controversy, could suffer irreparable damage. The financial and personal penalties, combined with the media frenzy, may force him to step away from politics. The GOP, which has largely remained loyal to him, could be forced to reconsider its future without Trump at the helm. For the American political landscape, this moment may mark a turning point. Trump's legal challenges have tested the country's commitment to accountability, transparency, and the rule of law. Whether or not he ultimately faces consequences, the experience has highlighted the tension between political power and the judicial system, a theme that will likely resonate for generations to come. As the 2024 election draws closer, the fallout from Trump's legal battles will continue to dominate headlines. The final chapters of this saga will not only define his future but also set the stage for a new era in American politics, one in which the consequences of legal and ethical challenges on public figures will have lasting implications for the nation as a whole. This is not just the end of a legal case, it could be the end of an era for Trump and for American politics as we know it. What happens next will decide whether his name is remembered as a symbol of defiance and resilience or as a cautionary tale of a political career consumed by legal and ethical battles. Either way, Trump's legacy is now inextricably linked to these legal battles, and the final verdict will determine how history remembers him.